Hey everybody, Palm Springs Cindy, and I'm here, but I also have Poppy. You want to go say hello? You want to say hello? Oh, she's got her crazy hair. She's got her crazy haircut, but she's back home, and I missed her, and she is wonderful. Okay, now you have to stay down here. You stay down there. I have a couple of great things to share with you guys. And I'm going to start by talking about my DIY project, the Christmas tree, the Christmas tree that I was making out of a styrofoam cone and jewels. Well, thank you to Penny Costa. Penny sent me a giant box of fashion jewelry that I could break apart, that I could use any way that I wanted to help build and finish my Christmas tree. I've never made one of these before, but I saw them at a boutique shop at the beach area one time, and I was flabbergasted by how beautiful they were. And I thought, I'm going to make one of those. Well, because they were very expensive, but now I know why they're so expensive. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna reach over here and get it. It's heavy. And there's things that are drying on it. So you can see I don't have this part done. But look how darling this is. I'm gonna twirl it around. So you can see some of the jewels. Isn't this so cute? But by the time you get all these jewels on it, it's very heavy. So, like I said, I still have this tippy top to get done. And the higher you go, see, it's going to be harder to glue items on this tip top. I did spray it gold. One of my viewers suggested that, and I did spray it. So I just think it's adorable, and I'm not going to be able to make three. I got, the two cones came together. I may have enough jewels, thanks to Penny, to finish the other one without having to buy any more jewelry or even look for it like at the consignments or the thrift shops. If I can get those two trees made, I'm going to be thrilled with myself. I've never really done, since I've been older, a DIY kind of a thing. When I was younger, I used to. When I was younger, I had a sewing machine, and I did stuff mostly because I could do it. If I could do it myself, it was less expensive. And I want to share that I am wearing my Wavy Day wig by Raquel Welch. I did cut this front, and it looks better. It's not so hanging in my face. I also, since I've been using that 360 glue or E60, whatever it is, it's like rubber cement on my fingers, and it's kind of creepy. All right, another thing I want to share before I get into the conversation is I needed some couch decor throw pillows. So I went online and I was looking, and I've learned to buy or to look for pillow covers instead of the actual pillows, unless for some reason that's just the way that they come. So I have a thumbs up and a thumbs down that I want to share with you guys. This is thumbs up. So I bought this one from Paragold, and it's a Jaipur Living, Jaipur. This is a really good pillow. Look at how pretty this is. I love the texture. It looks great on my couch. It's nice. It came with the pillow insert. Then, I just try to keep with the beige tones. I saw this. Now, this is a pillow cover, 24 by 24. And I had to buy pillow inserts for it, which I'm, really, well, let me share. I was disappointed in this, but let me show it to you. I'm going to get it the right side up. Here we go. All right, now, I like it, but I didn't realize I didn't buy the double-sided So I wish I bought the double-sided. Plus, it's very wimpy. The fabric is like, it's not great. It's, I was disappointed. I like the, this came out the way I thought it was going to, but the pillow cover itself is not very, it's not the greatest. I got that one on Etsy. So if you see that on Etsy, just know that, you know, actually, I think I almost could stuff 2 pillows in there, because one pillow almost doesn't seem enough. See how it's kind of, but I have one more pillow that it arrived, and it was a pillow cover. It's beautiful, and in fact, I'm gonna go get it. This pillow cover I bought from Etsy as well. It arrived, and I really like it, but I need to buy an insert for it. And they have similar patterns and tones in this. So between this and this, and then this, those will be some, you know, some nice throw pillows for my living room couch. Last weekend, we have a new baby in our family. She's 2 months old, and her name is Eleanor. And so one of my sisters, it's one of her sons, he and his wife had the baby. Now, they are in their 30s. They have their jobs. He's a teacher and has been teaching for quite a while, you know, since he got out of school. And she also has a great job. She works for Disney. She writes cartoons for Disney children. Let's see, what's the name of her cartoon series? Well, I'll put a link. I'll put a little picture for you. If you have grandchildren or whatever, you will. They will enjoy this series. Really cute. Okay, so they just had a baby. Now, one of the good things I think from COVID is that so many people started working from home. And a lot of employers and employees discovered that it worked. And it kept cars off the streets, all those emissions and everything out of the air. It kept families kind of together more, because they were working from home. The work was not shoddy. It was good work, because the people working at home could actually work, you know, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, whatever. It gave them flexibility, and the satisfaction of working from home created, I think, probably above board work. So what I'm getting at is the mother of Eleanor works from home. Whatever she does at home, she could do in the office, vice versa. And then I'm sure they go into the office so many days or hours or whatever. Okay. Now, because they live in that Los Angeles area, which encompasses, you know, a lot of little communities and towns and so on. But it's quite expensive to live in Los Angeles, let alone be a homeowner. So they are renters right now. And I, you know, being a renter, they've got a 1-bedroom apartment in a great location, very like hip in the sense that they could walk to the coffee shop, they could walk to go get a breakfast bagel in the morning. It's sort of in a great location where they can take advantage of that young, hip, urban life. And they are both, I would say, young and hip. And sort of, they're really the best of that generation, the best of the 30-year-olds, I'm going to say. They're loving, they're kind, they're open-minded, they're intelligent, they're well-educated, they're happy, and they're great parents. So on the way to So anyway, as I was watching my nephew and my niece and the baby, I marvel at how great they are. But this is what I'm getting at. I'm rambling. When they left, I was talking to my sister, and I was sort of like thinking out loud, saying, I bet they have another baby, that, they're so crazy about this one, and they're such good parents, and then it kind of boiled down to, if they have another baby, they're going to have to get a house, or they're going to have to move out of the Los Angeles area. And I really don't think they want to. I think that's the kind of lifestyle they want. And so the question of, do you have to be a homeowner today? I'm not so sure you have to be a homeowner today. Now, if you choose to live, like let's say my nephew and his family want to stay in the Los Angeles area, then okay, they could probably afford a bigger apartment or rent a house somewhere. That would be a lot less expensive than coming up with a down payment. And then houses there are quite older, and you never know if you're going to need to fix the roof or put in a new air conditioner, or what the plumbing's going to go out. So an older home comes with some negatives that can be quite costly. I just I know that in my generation, baby boomers and beyond, the goal, and certainly our parents' goal, was to be a homeowner. And most of us, I'll speak for myself, but my ex-husband and I, we lived in a little tiny apartment for a while, until we saved money as a down payment for our first home, it was a brand new home with sand for the front yard and sand for the backyard. And we really fixed it up. We put a beautiful fence, and we put a jacuzzi, and we built an outdoor kitchen, fire pit area, a beautiful a patio cover, a beautiful patio, beautiful front yard, wallpapered, painted. We really made it nice. And then, hence, when we sold it sold in just over a week, and we made some money off of it. And then from that money, we went into our bigger house. And that usually is how it works. The dream of being a homeowner may not be available to our children and our grandchildren without, some type of help from parents. Then, in my conversation with my daughter on the way to the Riverside area last weekend, she started talking to me about something called, I'd never heard of it, and if you guys have heard of it, you're more aware than I am. Something called a trad wife, TRAD. Trad standing for traditional wife. Evidently, trad wives are coming back. Something old-fashioned has become modern. So the idea of being a trad wife now means just what it meant then. A woman who stays home, who takes care of the home, who raises, I'm not going to say raises a child alone, because, it says husband and wife, but have used their feminist choice to stay at home. There's a YouTube channel I enjoy watching. I forget the name of it, but I'll put a link down, because it's a young family. They're in their 30s, I think, and they have 2 little girls. And when they first got married, their goal was to travel. And so they did, and they traveled all over the place. Well, then they decided to leave America. Now they have 2 little girls, and live in their favorite place where they traveled. And they ended up buying an old barn. I believe it's in northern Italy, with like 40 acres or something. And so they're converting this barn into a home. And it's being paid for by YouTube views. Like I said, I'll put the link up. You'll love the mom and dad. They're adorable. And these 2 little girls. They were like 3 and 5, and now they're like 8 and 10. But they did one of their videos and said, we get asked a lot why we left America. And it's not because we hate it. It's not because we don't like it. it's because we saw ourselves being way too connected to work and making money and working more hours and striving to get ahead. And all of our time was spent doing the opposite of what we were longing for. We wanted to spend time together. We wanted to spend time with our children. We wanted to be the ones to mother and father our children at home and so on. And so they said we didn't see the life we wanted. We didn't see that we could afford that kind of a life in America. So there's a lot more to it. That's just sort of it in a nutshell. And so, like I said, I'll give you the link. And so they're now building this house. They're building it together as a family. But they do have enough money that, when they need bulldozers and when they need the electricians and all that, then those people are all hired. It's very interesting. And it's very fun to watch. So they, so they're part of this new, I'm going to say, I don't even know if I can call it a trend, but they are part of the mindset of, they don't want to buy into the American workaholic, how much more money can we make, let's get a bigger house, let's get a fancier car, that's true success mindset. Then on top of that, I was flipping through the Netflix, and I ended up watching, which I think I had seen before, I ended up watching the Betty Broderick story. Now, for those of you who don't know, she's my age, so I'm pretty sure she was born in 1950. Had a husband that was a successful attorney in the La Jolla area, had 4 children. When they first got married, they were not rich. I think she worked odd jobs and was even a teacher at one time. But they worked hard, and then when they were older, and he passed the bar, and then he got some clients, and then they were living large. Like she said, around 1983, they were living large. Well, anyway, he ends up meeting another gal, and after all the time that Betty, the wife, was with him in the hard times, then right when they get into the good times, he ends up finding another woman at work. They get married. Well, Betty Broderick goes berserko, and she ends up, it's not a spoiler because it's been in the news and all that. She ends up shooting and killing her husband and his new wife. She's been in jail ever since. She was sentenced to 30 or 32 years, and they said that she should have been out like 2020, I think. And they said that the parole board meets with her, and they said she'll never get out because she still to this day says she didn't do anything wrong. She wasn't the one that had the affair. It was his problem. He did that to her, and basically that's her thinking. Her 4 children are now adults and live in Idaho, I believe. I Googled them, as I do. If I'm interested, I'm like, what happened to the kids? And what happened to this? What happened to that? So the children are all adults now with their own families. But so why I'm mentioning her story is, as I was watching her trial, she was saying, they were talking about her finances and her role in the marriage. And she said, yes, that her husband and she had decided that her husband would be he would be the moneymaker. He would take care of the bills. He would do all what she said, the man things. And she said her job was to take care of the woman things, to cook, to clean, to correspond, to get the kids' bath and dinner, laundry, vacuum, all that stuff. And this was the trial was like in the 80s, I think. I'm going to say 1985-ish, around there. And so I thought, see, even in those days, many women were still comfortable being a trad wife. Then my daughter and I were laughing, and my peers and my colleagues used to laugh about this. We would be at work, and I would be at work. I'd be working so hard, I'm exhausted. And then I'd think, maybe when I would stay several hours after the kids left because I had to get what I called my side work done. And then when I locked up my classroom, oftentimes I had to run to the grocery store, or I needed to come home and do laundry or whatever, cook. And, I often would fantasize and I'd think, I wish I had a wife. If I could go home, I think about the men in the 50s, the Mad Men era. If I could go home and, like, my daughter would be fresh out of the bathtub and pajamas on, and and dinner, I would walk in and smell dinner and have my wife say, dinner's almost ready, go change your clothes, come sit down, get ready for dinner, here's a cocktail to help you relax, and then she'd be folding the clothes and pulling them out of the dryer while I'm sitting there watching TV. I would have loved to have a wife. Now, I'm being facetious, but on the other hand, somewhere along the line, we got it. I think we got it wrong when women decided to, start the women's movement and all that. So much of that was right, and so much of that was good. But somehow the women ended up doing everything, earning a living, plus still doing all the housework and taking care of the kids and all that. Somewhere along the line, went haywire. Oh my goodness, well, I'm too old to worry about that now. I'm not sure what to call this video. I did share my DIY, talked about my new pillow covers, but I did want to share with you, the whole idea as I watch my nieces and nephews grow and have their families, buy their homes or not buy their homes. And do they have to be a homeowner to, quote, be successful? Does it have to work for everyone? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it does. And that's okay. In fact, I've often thought, what if I wanted to, oh, Poppy's on the couch, just snuggled, sound asleep. What if I wanted to sell my home, to pull out my equity and be a renter? I wouldn't have to worry about anything going wrong. All I have to do is mail that rent check in every month, and that would be pretty easy. So that's an option for me as well. And definitely something I would consider. Not right now, but maybe eventually. Who knows? P.S. I love you. Mwah. Until our next conversation. Bye-bye.